Hello, this is David King. Today happens to be Good Friday. And you might be thinking, what's so special about Good Friday? Well, I want to let you know. Today happens to be the day that Jesus Christ sacrificed his life. But here's the best part. He sacrificed his life so that you and I could live our life. To me, there's no greater sacrifice than that. Wouldn't you agree? For someone to give up their life for you. By the way, you know what that tells me? You know what that should tell you? It tells us that we are special. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You are special. You are amazing. It doesn't matter what happened in your formative years. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't matter what your dad said to you. It doesn't matter what your mother said to you. They might have told you you would never amount to much in life. They might have told you you would never be successful in life. They might have called you names. They might have done something to you. Maybe somebody touched you. Maybe you went through physical abuse. Maybe you went through verbal abuse. Maybe you went through mental abuse. Maybe you went through psychological abuse. I want you to know today, Friday, that Jesus Christ died for you. And the reason he did was to cancel out any sin that you commit. That's why he died, to cancel out any sin. Because you know what I found out? I found out that a lot of people who are sinning today, and when I say sin, I'm talking about sexual immorality, aka fornication and adultery. I'm talking about lying, stealing, manipulation, corruption, doing drugs, and all types of sins out there. I found out that the only reason people indulge in these sins is because of what happened in their formative years, between 0 and 8. Yes, between 0 and 8 years old. There could be some exceptions. Some people it might have happened later than that, but majority of the people is between 0 and 8. Whatever abuse they went through, whatever trauma they encountered, whatever rejection or neglect or abandonment they experienced is normally within that age range. So a lot of people are hurt because of it. So a lot of people develop this false interpretation because of it, and they begin to act out. So when you see people with anger issues, and you see people who can't keep it in their pants, and you see people who can't keep their legs closed, it's all an act of rebellion. Or maybe people who don't even believe in God, who don't believe in Jesus. It's all an act of rebellion. It's because of what happened mostly during their formative years. And they're living that lie. Some of them till today still haven't healed from the lie. Well, I want to let you know why today happens to be Good Friday. And that's because Jesus Christ sacrificed his life. He gave it all up to tell you that he loves you, to tell you that he sees you, And that's why he made a sacrifice that nobody else is willing to make. He gave it all up for you. And that's why you are special. So it doesn't matter what anybody told you. It doesn't matter what anybody did to you or is currently doing to you. You are special, and you must know that. Because when you know that, you can rise above the abuse. You can rise above the hurt. You can rise above the trauma. You can rise above everything that happened to you. When you understand why Jesus died for you. He died because he knew that because of that wound, I love to call it a wound because it is a wound, because a wound doesn't heal instantaneously, right? Yes. So a lot of people are acting out today, fornicating left and right, committing adultery. They can't even respect their marriage. They can't respect their families. They don't mind the jeopardy they put their children in. Because let me tell you something, if you're married and you commit adultery, your children will suffer more than you ever will know. So to show you the arrogance and the selfishness to want to put your innocent children through that by fornicating and committing adultery. And then when you lie and you steal and you defile and you corrupt, that is even more added to it. So Jesus Christ died because he wants you to know he loves you, and he wants you to understand that the person you've become, that person who you look in the mirror and you don't like, that person who you look in the mirror and you know that that's not who you really are, and you don't know how to heal, you don't know how to fix, you don't know how to repair. You don't know how to restore. You don't know how to transform back to your original self. That's why Jesus died for you. When you understand he made such a significant sacrifice for you, and he loves you, no matter what they said, no matter what they did, now you can begin to heal. Now you can begin to be transformed. Now you can begin to be restored. I don't know who you are watching this, but I want you to know that if you're going through any torment, and some people might not even know. Like for instance, myself, I was a fornicator. I fornicated for 25 years. Most people, like family members and, people of the opposite sex, they didn't know. I mean, some of the guy friends knew because that's what we talk about and we brag about stuff like that. But family, they didn't know. No, you keep family away from that because you got to keep the good family name going. You know what I mean? So all that fornicating I was doing and indulging on all that rubbish and filth I was indulged in, I kept it to myself. But deep, and that tormented me inside for 25 years. Yes, it did. Now you look at me, you never would know. I had a great smile, and I dressed nice, and I drove a nice car, and I wore some really nice watches, and I put a really nice ring on. So when you look at me, you're like, oh, he's good. He's good. He's good. He's not one of them. Let's go to the poor people. Let's go to the people who don't have clothes to wear. The deception. I'm here to tell you that a lot of people you see dress nice, smell good, look good. A lot of them are wounded. A lot of them are hurt. And a lot of them don't know how to heal. And I want you to know, if you're one of them watching this, you know who you are. You know what happened in your formative years. You know how your childhood was. Some of you watching this resent your parents. Some of you watching this resent your caretaker. Some of you watching this resent your teacher in school. Because of what they did or because of what they didn't do. Well, I'm here to tell you today, on Good Friday, Jesus loves you. He loved you so much, he died for you. So you could make a decision today to serve him for the rest of your life. And you might be watching this and you might say, oh, I'm saved already. I'm a Christian already. Well, you could be a Christian. You could be saved. But when last did you analyze your character? When last did you analyze yourself when nobody is watching you? That's the question. It's not what you do in front of people. All of us can play pretend. Come on, we watch movies all the time. Light, cameras, action, and you begin to act, don't we? Well, let me tell you, God is not going to be mocked. He knows how you are when the lights go out. So I just want to encourage you today. Jesus Christ died for you. He died to cancel out your sins. He died to give you clarity. So if you're watching me right now and you don't understand why you can't keep it in your pants, and you don't understand why you can't keep your legs closed until marriage, and you don't understand why you lie at the drop of a dime, and you can't understand why you would cheat at every given opportunity, why you will scam, why you will corrupt, why you will do things that you know your heart doesn't sit well with you when you do those things. I want you to understand. That's why today is called Good Friday. Because Jesus Christ died for you so that you can heal from that brokenness that makes you do those things that you know you have no business doing. For some of you, it might be smoking. For some of you, it might be excessive gambling. For some of you, it might be a relentless pursuit for success. You must succeed, and when you succeed, you want more, and you can't stop. And you think it's the way, isn't it? Yeah, let's make money, and let's make more money, and let's make more money, and let's make more money. Well, we know what happens when you make more and more and more. Temptation sets in, and you begin to do things that you know that you have no business doing. So I want you to recognize and observe today, Good Friday, the day that you turn your life around, because now you understand why Jesus gave everything up so that you can be restored, so that you can be transformed, so that you can be fixed. You know, it says in the book of Luke chapter 7, verse 37, it says, I'm going to read, and behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Jesus sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. I want you to pay attention. It said she was weeping. You know why? Because for the first time in her life, she understood who Jesus was. She understood that his presence and her letting him come into her heart would wipe away all her sins. And she didn't know how to handle it. So I'm talking to you as you watch me now. Yes, you're just like the woman. I'm just like the woman. We are sinners. We are doing things that Jesus frowns upon, because he thinks to himself, or he says, this is not why I gave up my life, not for you to continue the corruption, not for you to continue the fornication, not for you to continue being perverse. That's not why he gave up his life. So as you celebrate today, Good Friday, I want you to think about why Jesus gave his life. Think about what you're doing right now that doesn't align with why he gave up his life. Mine was fornication. And I thank God I gave it up. I gave it up until marriage. No more fornicating. Because when I realized why Jesus gave his life up for me, I could not go back to the filth. I could not go back to the vomit. And I pray for you that after today, Good Friday, you will never go back to those things that do not align with the character of Jesus Christ. If you are not subscribed to this channel, Peace and Acceptance, I advise that you do. Because if not, you might never see any message from me again. Subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Because when you like the video, it ensures that other people get to see it, so that they too can have a course correction, just like yourself. And share. Feel free to share this video. Share it with your friends, share it with your family members, share it with people you know and come across. You know why? Because there might be somebody that you know, and you might think they're good. Every time you see them, they're happy, they seem happy, right? But you don't know what's happening internally for that person. You don't know what's in their heart. You don't know if they've invited Jesus Christ into their heart to begin to fix and repair, and to begin to understand why he died for them. So by you sharing this video with others, you will get credited for changing someone's life. I'll see you on the next video.